Hello, everyone. Welcome to Quotable. We got another holiday episode coming at you. Hope you got your griddles ready, because
it's a hot one.
Got some ham and eggs, some gravy, some biscuits.
This one here, it really brings in the Yuletide season for me. So, without further ado, we bring you
James and the Giant Peach.
Yes.
Scrooged.
Well, which one is it?
Well, they're just gonna have to find out. This is another movie that I didn't appreciate in my childhood.
Yeah, I know.
Shocker, right?
I love this movie.
I mean, it came out in 1988, and I was a bit of a pansy back then. I'm still a bit of a pansy, not gonna lie, when it comes to darker movies. Although
this one is really not that. It's not a darker movie, though. I
think it was just the creepy characters, like when he started, having the visions and was visited by the ghosts and shit.
Yeah, I could see Lou Haywood, his old boss, who died 7 years ago. But you would never guess that. 3 tops.
Yeah, 3 tops.
No, you're a hallucination brought on by alcohol, poisoned by Chernobyl,
Yep.
Russian vodka.
Yeah, they did an excellent job doing his makeup. They really made him look like he was decaying and crusty, and that part where the mouse comes out of the back of his head with the golf ball, which ends up in,
I think that's where I learned that noise, because I think the first time I ever saw that back in '88, when I first saw it, I was like, ugh. And then I was just like, well, that's going to stay with me forever.
Yeah. And then that same golf ball ends up in Frank's mouth. So
yep. And then even later on that night, my mom was like, hey, it's dinner time. And she made some type of casserole, and I probably made that noise. And she was like, hey, it's broccoli casserole. And I was like, yeah.
Why does everything remind me of Lou? But
let's be honest. You paid for the women.
It's besides the point. Semantics. It's just happenstance.
Yes.
That they received money at the same time. But no, I like their interaction because, Frank was just freaking out. First of all, the weird way that he shoots at him and he's like making the sounds like
bang, ba bang,
bam,
ba bang,
bam,
kaplow.
bam.
Like, I don't mind if you hit me, Frank, but watch the Bacardi.
Who just sips Bacardi? It's disgusting.
I guess 7-year dead golfers.
I guess.
Ex-TV executives. Oh, come on. You're a legend in this business. You invented the miniseries.
Yeah. Should have been focusing on mankind, though.
Mankind should have been my business.
Yes.
Honestly, I think one of the things that I love about this movie, and it's only one of the things, my favorite thing from this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because I quote it all the time.
Yeah, you got me quoting it because I forgot about that.
It's so great.
Because I hadn't even watched this movie for years. Years and years and years.
It's been years and years.
But
now that I can watch it, I don't want to unwatch it.
Yeah, it's grown on me.
Yes. There are little things like, even last night you and I were talking about it when we kind of sort of watched it, and when he goes into his office, there's like that little, his brother's waiting for him.
Yeah.
And there's that little, like, I guess just I think the only thing in there is just the exercise bike.
Yeah, there's like a window behind him that's like overlooking the rest of the office. And then on the top and the bottom of the window, it's like the dictionary definition.
Well, it's at the bottom and the top.
Yeah, air quotes. I'm doing dictionary definition of the word cross.
Yeah, noun.
His name is Cross. Frank Cross.
Noun. A thing you nail people to.
That's facts. Bears.
Yep.
Beats.
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, that was just I'd never noticed it before, but it's like, how vain can you be?
I know. And I mean, it's such a great, it's just subtle, very subtle, but just to see it, to read it, makes it so funny.
I like how he's playing he's supposed to be like a Scrooge type character, and he does a great job playing an asshole, but he's not playing like the old crotchety version of Scrooge that everybody's used to.
Right.
No,
he's more of the I mean, it's kind of like his character, he just wanted to be successful. And you come to find out, especially when it's the Ghost of Christmas Past, shows him his past when he was a kid, then into his like young adult years as an intern, and then with essentially the love of his life. And he picks his career over her because he wants to be successful, and he wants to build his career in hopes that his woman is going to be like, oh, well, I support you in everything that you do. So this is like, I'm going to make my life your life. And she's not like that, So, I mean, she has her own thing going on, which, good for her. But at the same time, he chooses, as the Ghost of Christmas Past says, you chose Frisbee the dog over Claire.
It's a bone, you lucky dog.
It's a bone. But I think when it comes to the ghosts, you couldn't have better casting. I mean, you had David Johansen, who, a lot of people know him as Buster Poindexter, and he, with him, I think he did a phenomenal job as the Ghost of Christmas Past.
GOCP, baby.
Yeah. But Carol Kane as the Ghost of Christmas Present, that their dynamic together is so funny.
Yeah, she did a good job. I don't know, something about her in that fairy costume was kind of hot. I don't know. Yes. I don't know what it is about.
Well, I think it's also the part when she does something like she smacks him in the head or smacks him in the face, and she was like, "You hit me one more time, I'm gonna rip your goddamn wings off." And she was like, "Oh, Frank, I'm into the rough stuff."
Yeah. So yeah, I think it was a character choice to kind of bring some sexuality into it. That was definitely apparent. But the fact that she was just roughing him up from the get-go.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because right when her introduction is she's trying to do the little dance, but there's a sign next to her. Instead of the Nutcracker Suite, it's called the Ball Breaker Suite.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
and that's the first thing she
flies
does.
Towards him and kicks him in the nuts.
Yeah. And I think he's thinking it's going to be like one of those things like, oh, wow, she's going to be all nice and sweet and pleasant. And she's not.
I like the sound effect that they use when she kicks him in the nuts, like a bell ringing. Like it doesn't make that sound. That's weird. But I like how he comments after that happened, because she smacks him in the face immediately afterwards.
Right.
She's like, sometimes
you have to smack them in the face to get their attention.
Yeah. She's like, well, then smack me in the face, but you kicked me in the butt. As she grabs him by the lip. But I like when he goes to the past, because he gets to see his house. It's Christmas time, and his shitty ass dad comes home with like a 5-pound thing of or 8-pound thing of veal, whatever it was.
Yeah. Is it a choo-choo? No, it's 5 pounds of veal. But I asked Santa for a choo-choo. It's like, well, then go out and get a job and buy a choo-choo.
All day long, I have to listen to people making excuses about why they can't work.
My legs ache. My back hurts. I'm only 4.
It's like such a fucking asshole.
I know.
But
what's great about it is that's Bill Murray's real brother.
Is it really?
It's his brother in real life.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And he's oh God.
So he plays the father.
No, I'm trying to remember what else we know. Oh yeah, because he was in Christmas Vacation.
Yeah,
he played Clark's boss.
Yeah, and I mean, in almost every single movie that you see Bill Murray, you're going to see him. So they have a phenomenal dynamic.
Yeah, and that guy plays a good asshole too.
Yes, he does.
But what I was going to say is about the casting choice. Like, they picked the cutest little boy to play him as a child, and it's like, you never see kids act like that anymore.
I know.
They're all like shitheads. But he's like, like, Merry Christmas, Mom. Just like, and he was so convincing. Like, oh my God, no wonder he had the waterworks going afterwards.
Yeah.
Niagara Falls, Frankie Angel.
I was touched by a gift. It's like, for what in this day and age could be a $40 or $50 piece of milk-fed veal? Like, please.
I like how he threw in milk-fed.
Yeah.
Don't they all have milk? I mean,
well, you'd like to think so.
Well, until a certain age.
Yeah. Well, this is 2023.
Yeah, you're right. Touche.
Go on.
Ipso facto, we're all drinking milk.
Mine comes from nuts. That's right, Jimson. Cashew milk.
I've never milked a nut before. Yeah, there's a couple good things about the scene where he goes into the past. You know, like he's in the taxi cab.
Yes.
And, first thing Cabby says, he mentions Frank's name. He's like, well, how do you know my name? And he's like, I know everything.
Yeah. See, I'm the ghost.
Yeah. But, he's driving around and he's like, mind if I smoke?
He's like, no, smoke, just drive.
But when they end up in the past, they go back to 1955 and he drives through another car.
Yeah. Just go back to Jersey, you moron. It's like, just take me home. And he was like, oh, I intend to.
But it was weird because they didn't make him overly gross, but they did some weird thing where they like brought out like veins in his cheeks, almost like varicose veins in his face. I think there's another name for that. But then they made his teeth disgusting.
Yeah.
Like
because all he does is drive a cab and smoke cigars.
Yeah.
So
that's facts. Of course.
I like the kind of the interactions, one before the ghost, and then I like his little interactions like in between each ghost that he has, just like when he's back in reality. So before the ghosts appear, he meets his boss Rylander at like the A&P club, something like, I can't remember the name of it, but his boss, has the silverware taken away, pulls out his own silverware, which
it's like gold.
Dude, I want to be that successful one day.
To where it's like, solid gold silverware.
Take your silverware away. I have my own.
Yeah.
And he's polishing it, so Bill Murray's like, well, I better polish my silverware. But the guy ordered, he's like, oh, yeah, I'll have a highball. And he's like, I'll have a highball too. But
flattery. Yeah.
When the guy comes back, and I guess it's just the water that he sets down with the eyeballs in it, and he's like, and he's looking at everyone, and they're like, yeah, like what? Because only he can see the eyeball. So he's just like, and the guy's like, I'll take it away. And he's like, are you him? Are you him?
Are you he? But Cummings, shows up later.
Mr. Cummings.
And it's just so obnoxious. He comes running towards the table, and he just shouts out, Pellegrino, rocks, twist.
Yeah.
It's like, what? How lame can you be? We're drinking highballs, man.
Yeah, I know. I do like, he seems agitated when the waiter or maitre d' or whatever comes over, and he's like, is everyone ready to order? And he's like, yeah, I'll have the California health plate. No dairy in that, huh? It's like, he has like an attitude. It's like, well, you didn't have to go to the lunch if you didn't want to.
Yeah, you could have stayed home.
Yeah, you could have stayed back at the office. Had the conversation there.
Anything. No. You wanted to have lunch with the big boys.
Yep. So
how's the rack of lamb?
It's all very good, sir.
He's like, good choice, sir. He's like, well, I didn't commit to it yet. I was just asking you how it was. Every time I see that scene, it bothers me now.
Yeah. But Bill Murray sees the waiter, and his vision is the waiter catches on fire, and he's like,
yeah, because he brought baked Alaska over to the table.
Yeah, but you want to sit there and think to yourself, like, use your words, Frank.
Yeah.
Use your words. And he's like, oh, no, that's baked Alaska. That's a dessert. You wouldn't want that.
Yeah. But he
and
keeps
then he's like
gesturing over to it.
Yeah, because the guy's like moving across the restaurant on fire, and he's like, and he's like, oh no, he had the meatloaf. You wouldn't want that either, sir. And he's like, I'll have. And he's like, yes, you'll have.
You'll have.
I'll have.
You'll have.
It's like I'm gonna have some air.
It's like, why do you insist on correcting me? It's starting to feel personal now.
But I do like that he throws the water on the waiter, who's not on fire. He's just counting his tips. Any tips?
Any tips you got? Don't
and he's
count
like,
your tips in public.
But he's sitting there and he's like, huh, that's funny. He's like, for a second, I thought you were Richard Pryor.
Which I don't get the reference, but
back in the 80s, in the early 80s, Richard Pryor was high on some contraband.
Oh, and he got set on fire or something?
Set himself on fire.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes.
All right. Well, that one makes sense.
Yes.
All right. Moving on. But, so Frank has his assistant who he treats like complete shit.
Yes.
And one of their first interactions that you see with the two of them is she's having to leave the office for a doctor's appointment that she scheduled a month prior.
I care.
But it's like, what? But no, it's like we have to work late tonight, you know? And
like,
if you can't work late, I can't work late. And
yeah, and he was like, no, we're a team. And he was like, if I have to work late, you have to work late. And if you can't work late, I can't work late. And if I can't work late, I can't work late.
But it's like, okay, well, do I get to go on my appointment or?
Which you find out later that she does get to go on the appointment. And I can't remember what exactly she says, but she's walking with her son who is a mute. And
self-inflicted.
Yes. Only he can break the spell. But she was like, I can't remember. I want to say it was an astronomical amount. At least I always thought it was like $200 or something stupid. But then I think when we watched it, I didn't pay attention yet again. But she was like, $50 for him to tell me that you don't talk. Just like, I know that.
Yeah. But it's like 5 years prior, he witnessed his father getting killed.
Which the
is
kid
weird
looks like a 5-year-old.
It's like, okay, so you saw your dad get killed before you were born. How does that happen?
Yeah. I mean, he looks like he's 5, tops 6 years old.
Yeah, and I looked him up on IMDb, and he only did like a couple other things. Like he was in that, in the early 90s, they had that Jackson anthology or whatever it was called. Basically the story of their life,
right.
How they became successful and everything, which was actually very good. I remember watching that when I was like 11 or 12. I think it came out in 92.
That'll be our next episode.
No.
I'm just kidding. I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
No, it's like a documentary of their life.
Okay.
I think it was like I don't know, it was a miniseries or just like a 2-part like movie.
Okay.
But it was really cool to find out how they got started and everything.
Oh, that's good.
It was very good. But I like when he's having to pick what gift certain people are going to get from the office. And it's like either a towel or a VCR.
Yeah. Towel.
Most of these are towels.
Yeah. But I do like it when he's going through the list and he was like, I think he says something along the lines of like top of the line VHS video recorder. and then she's like naming names. He's like, towel. And he's like, wait, what were the ratings on like the last week's episode or whatever? And she was like 7.0 with the 2.5 share. And he's like, towel. And then the phone rings and he just grabs, he's like, give me the list. And he's like, most of these are towels.
Yeah. A couple interesting conversations. Well, speaking of the VCR thing, it's like when his brother opens up the VCR that he was originally not supposed to get.
Right.
His reaction to it was like, this'll work?
Yeah.
Like, what? That is so 80s.
But what's great is I just like it when, because I don't know if it's, I know the brother's, I don't know if it's his wife or his girlfriend. It never really says.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Her name's Wendy. And she was like, I think he got the gifts mixed up. And then he just steps in and he was like, I didn't get the gifts mixed up. My ex-secretary got the gifts mixed up.
And the girl that plays his girlfriend, whatever, significant other, isn't she from Frasier?
No. She did a show called Just Shoot Me.
That's what it was.
But she was also the one that played Ryan Reynolds' mom in Waiting.
That's right.
Wendy Malick.
Yeah, I knew she looked familiar. I just couldn't remember what it was from. But Frank also has a other conversation with his boss where he's saying, "Do you know how many cats there are in the world?" He's like,
"Cat? No, I don't have those numbers in front of me."
27 million.
Really? Wow.
Do you know how many dogs?
In America?
48 million.
Wow.
But it's statistics show that
I do love that when he says that, he was like, "No, I don't have those numbers in front of me."
Yeah. I didn't have any reason to look them up.
I don't know if you know this or not, but Google hasn't been invented yet, so I can't just have this information at my fingertips.
It's 1998. It's 1988. Google hasn't been invented yet.
I mean, come on, man. Nobody knows who Bill Gates is.
It is funny when there's movies that have, time travel, or it's, based in a previous time,
right,
and they reference that year. It's like, Christ, it's such and such a year.
Yeah.
It's like that type of technology doesn't exist. But it's like they're implying that it will at some point.
Yeah.
But they have no idea.
I watched a movie like that over around Halloween called Totally Killer. And it's a movie made in 2023, but a girl goes back to like I think 85 or 83 or something. And then she was like, "Well, I'll just Google it." And everyone's looking at her like, "What?
Google it? What is this word?"
Don't know what this is.
No clue. But no, like you said, there's the interesting sequences like before and in between each of the ghost visits, like the hammering.
Yes.
That is hysterical.
It is. It is hysterical. Just because it's so small, but yet so funny. And the lady that I love in the movie is the censorship lady, because her first introduction is with the girls that dance for the Scrooged show that they're making.
Yeah, and they're dressed like they're like Hollywood showgirls almost. Not
right.
Hollywood, or like Las Vegas showgirls.
Yeah, which I love that she's like, "This is not appropriate for TV. You can see her nipples." And he's like, "I want to see her nipples. Charles Dickens would have wanted to see her nipples." And then the two stage guys are sitting there and they're like, you can hardly see the nipples. And he's like, "See?" And they're really
actually
looking.
trying. Yeah.
They're really looking. He was like, "Okay," he's like, "Well, you go back to work." He's like, "And you two just go." But the guy's carrying the street lamppost prop. And he goes to turn around and he was
whacks
like,
her right in the face.
Yeah, and he was like, "Look out." And he ducks, but she just looks right at the lamppost and it knocks her out. So, but
yeah,
then
she gets all kinds of messed up in this movie.
But then when he goes back and the nurse is there like tending after her, all the dancers are dancing and he just like turns her head and you hear all those bones cracking. And he was like, "Can I turn her head?" And the nurse is like, "No." He's like, "There, show me a nipple."
See, context. So you got that. Well, after he comes back from his first ghost, this was before his first actual ghost visit,
right?
I guess, because the one with Lou doesn't count.
Right.
But he falls from the high rise, and then he ends up back in his office, and then the phone automatically dials his old girlfriend Claire.
Right.
And so he has to leave a message, which is funny because he's like shouting in her answering machine.
He's like, "Claire." He's like, "Hey, it's Frank. Cross. I know it's been," and I love that he looks at his watch. He's like, "I know it's been 15 years since we last talked."
Yeah.
But
wait,
I just
what
really
time
need
is
to
it?
talk to you.
Carry the two. It makes no sense.
So, and then, but after the censorship lady gets knocked out and she's laying there passed out, and then you just hear "Lumpy," and he looks down at her like, "Who the hell?" But he looks up and it's Claire, and that was her nickname for him.
Because the first time that they met, she
whacked
hits
him in the
head
face
with a door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right between the eyes.
She's like, "Oh,
Where
did I get you?
He's
it's like right here.
You got me here. And the sidewalk got me back here.
So it's one of those, what is it? What do they call it? Meet cute?
Yeah.
I don't know if that qualifies.
I don't know either. But I do love, like, right after that, she, like, goes, like, she kneels down and picks up, like, a magazine or something. She was like, is this yours? And he was like, yeah. And he's like, you had some stuff too, right? And she's like, yeah. And then they go, like, they both go at the same time and bump heads. So it's just one of those things like, oh. But after that, he's doing all those, like, little cutesy things to be like, I need to, like, I want to carry on this conversation. So she's like, she says Merry Christmas. And he's like, hey, do you want to go to a Christmas party that's going on, like, right now? And she's like, not really. And he's like, yeah, me either. And then she was like, bye, and walks away. And he was like, young lady, he's like, do you shop here often? Because if you do, I can walk on the other side of the street.
Which, like, why? Yeah, so they have, this is back when he was normal, I guess, when he wasn't so much of a jerk.
Right, because he, you know, he had just kind of started, I guess, around television. So, I mean, he grew up watching television because, and that's what you get from the Ghost of Christmas Past is, you know, you spent, you know, the good majority of your young life just sitting in front of the TV.
To where you can't distinguish your life between what happened on TV.
Yeah. And he was like, no, check the records, chump. I did things. And he was like, oh, yeah. And he was like, yeah. He goes, there was one time I hit the game-winning home run. And he was like, that was a kid from the courtship of Eddie's father. And he was like, okay. Well, no, there was another time. He was like, I was running through a field and, you know, there were a bunch of flowers. And he was like, you're so pathetic. He was like, that was Little House on the Prairie. And he was like, was it the homecoming episode? Yeah,
yes, it was the homecoming episode of Little House.
I mean, but it's just so funny because that he would sit there and he could not distinguish, you know, from what really happened to, I saw it on TV. So,
yeah, but he ends up playing that dog, like he has to wear that dog costume, and
Frisbee,
it's like, God, I couldn't do that. It looks so freaking hot.
I know. Oh man.
No, thank you.
And then,
but then this is when you see him start bringing the asshole out because his boss invites him to dinner with his secretary because his wife is out of town.
Yeah, which his boss, I mean, at that point wasn't like, you know, the manager of the television show. It was like the president of the network. So, and then when Claire shows up and she's like, no, we're going to Bob and Linda's tonight for Christmas dinner. It's been planned for over a month. And he was like, honey, you can't expect a man like this to make plans a month in advance.
Right.
Which, I mean, is true. But you do see what a dick his boss is, because he's there with that really hot secretary.
Yep.
And he was like, well, it'll be you, me, my wife. And then she was like, well, your wife's
in Paris or something, right?
And he was like, oh.
Then I guess it'll just you and me.
And he was like, and Frank here. Frank, my boy.
And bring your girl.
Yeah.
What's her name? Claire?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, bring her along. But then when he's leaving, he sees Claire and he's like, you're Claire, right?
Unbelievable.
But I think another kind of I guess an unsung hero in this episode or in this movie is Elliot Loudermilk, which played by Bobcat Goldthwait. Phenomenal. He is hysterical in this movie.
And if you've seen any movies from the 80s,
he's in it.
Yes. Pretty much. You
Pick
probably
any police academy.
He was there. Yeah. And if you don't know who he is by name, you definitely recognize his voice because he's always talking like this, and you never know what he's doing because he seems so nervous.
You stupid dog. So he gets fired almost immediately in the movie.
Yeah, and he's
at the very beginning,
out on the curb. What, like 4 minutes and 40 seconds later?
Yes,
I think? Record time.
But he gets fired because he kind of, you know, they have their Scrooged promo that they're running, and I love it because I don't know exactly what he does for the company, But it's almost kind of
Frank or Elliot.
Elliot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it's almost like he's more of like a legal standpoint as opposed to someone that's like, hey, how about this? Well, he has the one scene where he showed, like, they have the Scrooge promo, and you see Frank, and he's, wow, does that suck? But he starts telling him, he was like, no. He was like, we have to scare people out of their minds. Like, they're going to be terrified to miss it. He's like, maybe, I don't know, if I was in charge, and I am, and flicks him in the ear. But then he's like, ha, ha, ha. But the guy right across the table is like, it's just so,
it's most awkward.
It's so stupid. He was like, maybe I'd run a promo like this. So his promo is more like a scary movie.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Scrooge whatsoever.
The only thing that it has to do with Scrooge is at the end it says, Scrooge, IBC. Don't miss it.
But it shows like terrorist activity. It shows drug use. It shows all kinds of other just scary scenery.
Like a lady driving down the highway and a guy shoots her.
Yeah, it's like nothing to do with Christmas.
But as everyone's leaving, Elliot Loudermilk is like, you can't run that promo. It's like, no. He's like, he's like, you got to take the blood and the guns out of it. And he was like, it's a little late to get this kind of feedback. And he's like, well, you just can't. Like, this is the first time I've seen it. And he's like, yeah, I did kind of spring it on. And he's like, you know what? If we can change it in the next 5 minutes, I'll let you know.
Oh, wow, Frank. You know, the two of us are pretty much alike.
I love his face.
Merry Christmas, Frank.
It's like, yeah, he's like, we don't want to scare the dickens out of people. But no one reacts to it. And he's like, the dickens out of people.
Nobody gets me.
Nobody gets it. So, but Elliot spends every time you see him, he's spending his time trying to get alcohol because, you know, he's been fired. His wife has left and took our little baby daughter with her.
He keeps buying these small bottles of liquor, and every time he goes to take a drink, something happens. And
the first time the cab drives by and it splashes him with water and it falls out of the bottom of the bag. But it's funny because that's when he's like, he looks at the cab and he's like, you stupid dog.
But he does this weird thing right before he's about to take a drink. Like he's licking his lips like it's like a tasty meal or something. And it's like the same exact thing that What's-Her-Face does before Mr. Cummings.
Oh, I know. It's so funny. So funny. That does not get old.
Never. It never will. And we'll get to that point later.
But no, then the next time you see him, he's actually passed out, like in a pile of trash, and someone steals his watch. And then the next time he has alcohol is the Ghost of Christmas Past drives by and just steals it like right out of his hand. And then, but at the very end, after the Ghost of Christmas, or right before he meets the Ghost of Christmas Future, Elliot's there with the shotgun trying to kill him.
Yeah, and the shotgun keeps going off as if he has no control over what's going on here. So first he like shoots straight up into the ceiling.
Honey, I'm home. But
he's when he's chasing Frank around the office with the shotgun, and he says something about like that he's been drunk the entire time. But it's like, how? You haven't had a single sip.
Well, it's like not only that, but then I just like the scene when he's telling him, and he was like, "Oh, Elliot," he was like, "You can't do this, not today." He's like, "You won't believe the day I've had." And he's like, "The day you've had." It's like, first I get fired the day before Christmas. He's like, I have to go home and tell my wife who left me, and that's when he's like hunting him down in the office. But it's just,
I like how Frank asked for a head start.
Yeah. And he was like, mind if I get a head start? And he's like, sure, why not? It's like 1001, 1002, 1003. But shoots his Daytime Emmy Awards. And he's just, I love Frank's reaction because he stands up, he's like, oh no, my babies.
Elliot, you're alive. You're a horrible shot.
But I do like excuse me.
It's the mustard gas.
Yep, it is. I do like that, he ends up on the elevator and the Ghost of Christmas Future is there, but he had already bumped into the Ghost of Christmas Future from the show. And so he thought it was him and he was like, hey, I was like, what are you doing? He's like, aren't you supposed to be on set? He's like, we're live, pal. But it's moving towards him. He's like, hey, back off. All right. May work with the chicks, not with me. So like he says it with such confidence.
Observation that I made is the beginning of this movie. It's like they're playing a bunch of different like movie promos or TV promos and everything.
Yeah.
And it is very reticent of like what they did in Tropic Thunder.
Yes.
So
it is.
Because it's the same exact opening, just, different movies.
Yeah.
But the first one that they play is with Lee Majors.
Yes.
Like he's saving the North Pole.
The reindeer died.
And it's such a
Lee
weird
Majors.
Yeah, it's like because it shows Santa in the workshop, and it's like this tiny ass little workshop.
Yeah,
hardly any elves. Like, how are they gonna make toys for everyone?
Well, I mean, back then the perception of Santa Claus was different.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we have movies like The Polar Express and Fred Claus and everything to thank for now. All of a sudden, it's like it's not just a workshop in the North Pole. It's like an actual civilization.
It has to be.
That's the only way.
Right. But, yeah, all of a sudden, it was like a rocket that, like, crashes, like, right in front of the workshop.
Santa, what's that? And he's like, incoming.
But then...
I really wish he would have used the line from Back to the Future. When he was like, it's the Libyans. That would have been icing on the cake.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, great Scott.
That would have been even better.
Yeah, but out of the hole in the side of the wall, it's like you see a figure come through.
Yeah.
Dressed to the gills for like a blizzard.
Yeah.
And then
carrying like a
minigun.
Yeah, like a revolving 50 caliber machine gun. And he takes off his goggles and it's Lee Majors. He's like, it's Lee Majors, the $6 million man. He's like, all right, Santa, you got a back door out of here? He's like, oh yeah, but this is one Santa Claus that's going out the front
door. Yeah.
He's like, hey, doesn't matter a hill of beans what happens to me, Santa, but the world can't go on without you.
Oh,
but I do.
Lee, you've been a very good boy this year.
Yeah, I like Mrs. Claus because she was like, you sure have.
Yeah, and then he gets this look on his face like, you guys are weird.
I really regret coming here.
What was I thinking? I don't remember the other promos though.
Goulet.
Oh yeah, Goulet. Which I can't see that guy without thinking of Will Ferrell's version of it on S.
Yeah, no, it was just him singing in like the Boggy Creek or whatever.
Yeah,
as he's pushing himself down like a mandolin.
And you see some fake alligator like pop up.
Yeah,
it's not even moving. It's just there.
No, and then later on in the movie when after the Ghost of Christmas Future shows him his future, and it shows his assistant, and she has her son who's now older, but he's in a mental institution because he just refuses to talk. When he gets back on, he was like, no, he's like, this isn't definite. He's like, no. He's like, we can change this. He was like, yeah, no, he's like, this is simple. I know the head of pediatrics at the NYU. He's like, yeah, no, we'll get him all the beds. I'm all over this. And then the next stop is Claire, because he has it out with Claire. Because I like it when he has the mental breakdown, and he's just walking down the street, mumbling to himself. And he's like, and I'm gonna find a wife, and she's gonna love me for who I am, and she's gonna take care of me. And then but it was funny because he's looking at the card and he was like, and I'm gonna have a business where you can actually find. And he turns around and it's the building right there, and he's like, oh, here it is. It just goes walking in, and he was like, you didn't leave. He's like, I didn't leave you. You left me. But then that lady comes up and she was like, oh, we got ourselves another crazy.
But the whole premise of this movie is like he's putting on this live play, or basically it's like a made for TV play of Scrooge, but it's on Christmas Eve. Yeah, and he's put so much pressure on himself to make it the best possible show ever.
Right.
And his boss even mentions about, like, weren't there field mice or something?
Or dormouse.
Or dormouse.
He was like, wasn't there a dormouse? Yeah. He was like,
even
wasn't
better.
Yeah. So, but I do like his reaction because he's like, wasn't there a dormouse in Scrooge? And he was like, no, but I always felt there should have been.
Yeah. Kissing so much ass, man.
I know.
But the guy comes up and he's like, I've been trying everything I can, and I just can't get these antlers to stay on the mouse's head.
Yeah, he was like, we tried crazy glue, but that didn't work. He was like, did you try staples?
It's like, you're not going to staple anything to that poor little mouse.
Yeah. And Claire's like, no. She was like, if you do that, she's like, I'm going to call the Humane Society. And he was like, oh, I would never do this. He's like, I'd never do anything to hurt this poor little fella. I got 6 dogs at home. It's just like, okay, fine. That's great. Go on now.
Would you please, for the love of God, stop the hammering?
But Claire ends up leaving because, she can tell he's busy. But it's almost not like he's busy, but he hasn't really changed in the 15 years. And if he has changed, he's gotten worse because he wants to be successful. So she kind of just goes off, but that's when his secretary comes up and you find out that someone had passed away from a heart attack watching his promo that he put out, the one with the terrorists and the guns and the flesh-eating diseases. This lady died of a heart attack. Well, a newspaper called for a comment, and he was like, oh, please. He was like, whatever. He's like, it was probably just something she ate. So his secretary gets on, and she was like, he said it's probably something that she ate. And he's like, oh, for the love of God, give me that. He's like, we here at IBC are incredibly thoughtful of our viewers, and we can't believe that such a tragedy like this happened. But you hear all the hammering. He's like, would you please, for the love of God, stop the hammering?
It's funny how it takes 4 times for anybody to even acknowledge that he's saying anything. But I like at the last one that he says, you just hear the one guy say, what does he say?
He's like, okay.
Okay. You got it.
But then the set falls apart, and the censorship lady's sitting there with her nose all bandaged up. She's got like wrapping on her head, a neck brace on, and the thing's falling down.
It falls on right on top of her. Poor dear.
Yeah. So, but at the end, when they finally go live, and he gets back from the Ghost of Christmas Future, confronts Eddie at Loudermilk, and he tells him, and right when he sees him, he's like, ah, Milkman, it's you. I'm glad to see you. And then he's like dancing around with him, and he's like, you know what? He's like, I'm going to hire you back twice your original salary. I'm going to give you a bigger office. Do you like my office? He's like, no, I don't like your office. And he was like, that's so you. But then he tells him, he was like, he throws him in the elevator, and he was like, we're going to have some fun. He was like, for once in this crazy life, Cross and Loudermilk, we're going to have fun. And it's like their only second interaction through the entire movie. So he's like, for once in this crazy life. I don't know why, but that line always just, like, it bothered me for some reason.
Yeah, because it's like, you've never had fun up to this point, or
either that, or it's just like, I mean, you didn't even know who I was. Because at the beginning, when he fires him and he goes walking out, he like looks at his assistant and he was like, hey, who is that? And his assistant's like, that's Elliot Loudermilk. And he's like, oh, okay, fire him. It's just like the day before Christmas, he's like, oh my God, thank you. Yeah, call accounting. Bonus. Call accounting, stop his bonus.
But I like how she calls in and she's like, yeah, Elliot Loudermilk, code 9. It's like they have a code for it.
And then it even proves what more of an asshole he is, because right after that, he sees the picture that her kid drew and has it on the wall, and he's like, Grace, what is this? She's like,
it's a painting.
It's a painting.
Which it's not. It's not. It's crayon.
Yeah. And she was like, my kid did it. And he was like, oh. And he was like, Grace, how many fingers does Mrs. Claus have?
11.
Yeah. See, it's trash. And he like takes it down and like crumbles it up, and throws it away. It's like, what a dick.
But it is funny because when he was going through the whole bonus, like not the bonus thing, but the gifts for everybody.
Yes.
And she's like, oh yeah, and a towel for you also.
Yeah. And then she was like, what about my bonus?
Like, all right, a towel and a face cloth.
Face cloth.
Just like, what the hell?
You
Ass.
son of a bitch. No, so then
But yeah, after he has his come to God moment or whatever you want to call it, you know, he sees the one of the dancers with the mistletoe right above her.
Yeah.
So he comes up and he's like,
look at this. He's like, don't be so mean. It's like,
the funny is, as soon as he gets within like arm's reach of her, she grabs him by the necktie and starts pulling him towards her.
And it's funny. He's like, there's a tradition. There's a law that says I have to kiss this girl on the lips. And he's like, it's a federal law.
It's a federal law. Yeah.
Actually, he's like, she's just upholding the law.
Yeah, and he plants one on her, and it's like, and Claire's there watching the whole thing too.
Well, she's watching it on TV at that point.
She doesn't seem to care about that.
Well, it's funny because he sits there and he's like, God, that was good. He was like, he's like, you know what? It wasn't great. He's like, there's only been one great. And it's like, I always thought was funny. It would be like, you know, if say he has like 2 or 3 other ex-girlfriends that are watching this, and he's like, there's only been one great, and all of them are like, oh yeah. And he's like, Claire, do you remember? And all of them just be like, what? Really?
Damn it.
Really?
So that's not what you said that night.
But my favorite scene, my most quoted scene probably from any movie ever, is right after he kisses the girl that's under the mistletoe. You see the censorship lady in the booth. And
she looks over at Mr. Cummings, who's been tied up.
And Bryce Cummings is tied up.
Why did he get tied up again?
Because Elliot Loudermilk broke into the control booth and hit him and knocked him out with the door.
Oh, that's right.
So he tied him up to the chair right next to the corkboard, and there was a mistletoe, and you just see the lady look over, licks her lips viciously.
Like she has a bottle of liquor right in front of her, apparently.
But as she gets up, I am a fan, and it doesn't matter what movie it is, I am a fan of meaningless, mundane noises.
Sound effects that don't really belong.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just like, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the king of just a noise out of nowhere. It's like, you know, something will happen. It has to list something. And he's like,
the sound that Stanley makes when he gets up from the chair.
Yes.
It's like, yep. See, just that noise that you made right there. I could tell you have diabetes.
But as she gets up to run over to Mr. Cummings, because he's sitting near a mistletoe, she gets up and she's like,
it's like,
and runs over. But you hear her right after, and she's like, Mr. Cummings.
It's so funny. It's like you can't watch that scene without wanting to rewind it over and over again.
Yes. Now I challenge you people that are listening, both of you, to sit there and tell me that from now on, after you watch this movie, that you don't sit there and use that in everyday life.
You're going to find reasons. Every time you get up from a chair.
Yep. Mr. Cummings.
Because it's like, are you making that noise because of the effort that it took you to get up? Or is it because you're lusting towards Bryce?
Both.
Yes. Yes.
But it's funny because Claire runs outside and gets a taxi, and she's like, taxi. And he pulls over and she was like, can you get me to the IBC building in 3 minutes? And he's like, which floor? Because it's the ghost of Christmas past.
GOCP, baby.
Yep.
Which floor?
Coming through in a pinch.
But that's all I got, man.
Yeah,
It's,
this one here, if you haven't watched it in a long time, then you have to watch it. And if you've never seen it, then you definitely have to watch it.
Yeah, if it's something that you recall seeing in your childhood, because I have a feeling most of the people listening to this are our age.
I would hope so.
Yeah, most likely. So give it another go.
Yeah, you better believe it.
Make it another one of your go-tos for the holidays.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
For sure. But, this will be, when is this coming out? The 11th.
Yes.
And we'll have a couple more, I think.
That we will, right before Christmas. And, we love each and every one of you. So
all two of you.
Yep, both of you. So, thank you for the continued support. And, we'll see you on the next episode.
All right, and give us your feedback. I've been trying to do questions. Like if you're watching us or listening to us on Spotify, underneath the episode, there's usually a question like, "What do you think about this episode?" But every once in a while, I'll switch it up and ask you like a trivia question. So if you haven't listened to our Elf episode, I did ask a trivia question. How many Ray's Pizza does Santa reference in the movie Elf?
Ooh, that's a good question.
So I'd like people to try to interact with us.
Yes.
I want to give you as much as we can. With our minuscule budget that we have going on here.
I got $15.
But yeah, no, we want your feedback because the more that we hear from you, the better we can make our episodes. And, with your continued support, the more content we can bring to you guys.
Yes, of course.
Thank you again. And until next time,
Quotable Podcast. Out. Mr. Cummings.